How do you do it?
How do what?
How do you run around like this show?
I don't know. Usually the coffee helps.
The coffee helps?
Yeah. Are you not a big coffee person?
I know, I love coffee.
We're live. I don't want you to say anything incriminating while we're live. We're live.
Damn. Hi.
Nacya, I don't want to butcher your last name, Marreiro. That's like the Portuguese way to say it, I think.
No, that sounded very Italian, Ted. It's Marreiro.
How is it? What is it?
Almost like Jewish people would say it.
Marreiro.
Amazing.
That's how it is? All the way from Austin. Thanks so much for coming on the podcast. Yes. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? Thank you for having me.
I'm terrific, of course. You have your show tonight at the Stand, The RIFF.
Yeah,
a very fun show. I've done it myself. An improv comedy show. So basically how it works is, I guess I'll let you get to it.
How it works is there's this huge fortune wheel, all right? And the crowd.
I don't know how but you have one in Texas and one here, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You think I would travel?
I don't know. Like when I was up there, I was like, how did you bring this on the plane?
I'll be passing the TSA and I'll be like, hey, excuse me, that's just a wheel. Okay,
you just have a pre-check just for the thing.
Ma'am, open your legs and cough. I'm like, damn, okay. So there's this big wheel with different sectors, and there's 3 options. There's option number 1, which is crowd suggestions. So the crowd gets to write whatever they want, like any suggestion, word, subject, whatever. And then we put it on this little bucket, which is number 1 bucket, right? And then there's option number 2, which is comedians that are in a lineup suggestion. So they get to write as well. We put it in bucket number 2. And then there's another one, which is tell a story. So obviously you just riff on the story. Am I screaming out right now? I feel like I'm
you're good. You can also hear yourself. And also, you won't be screaming until you'll see like the red, but you're all good.
Okay.
All perfect.
And then the comedian comes on stage and spins the wheel and gets to riff on all those options, which is amazing and very scary. Uh-huh. But everybody has a great time. Do
you find that most comedians are comfortable riffing on stage and not having material all set, or no?
I think this is like every comedian worst nightmare, right? Like you just come on stage, you don't have anything prepared, you don't know what's going to happen. Especially for me, because English is not my first language.
What is your first language? Portuguese?
Portuguese, yeah. I'm from Portugal.
Okay. And how long did you live there for?
My whole life.
When did you move to the U.S.?
3 years ago.
Wow. And you moved directly to Austin?
No, I was living in Germany. I had a very interesting life.
Yeah,
Ted.
Please start from the beginning. We got time.
I don't like talking about myself that much.
What? You're on the podcast.
By the way,
you have to talk about yourself. By the way, what? I shaved my mustache today.
That's what's different in you. Looks nice. I'm like, what's different? There's something
You've
different.
never actually seen me with a mustache, though. You see me with like scruff.
Oh, that's what
and then maybe
weird.
like the proper.
But your skin
stash.
looks so bright and good. I'm like, what
I guess
happened?
it's because we got these lights here, and I got a little bit tan. I think a little bit of time in the sun, walking around the city.
That's what it is. I was trying to figure out what's different.
I look younger.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit. Anyway, start from the beginning, please.
First, I have a very important question. Where are you getting me there? Because I'm scared of how my body looks.
Where am I getting you?
Can you get my
right
toes?
Here. No, do you want to see the toes, or this behind the paywall?
No, I charge for that. I charge for that.
All right, well, I just got a free look, guys. It looks good. But yes, we'll get you like right here.
That's
from
awesome.
Right here up.
Amazing.
Go ahead.
What do you want to know?
Your whole life.
Oh,
you were born in Portugal. You moved to Germany and then moved to Austin, and now you're here in New York.
Yeah. So long story short, I really wanted to travel, but I couldn't afford traveling, and my parents couldn't afford to pay for me to go to college. So I was like, okay, this is great. Should I kill myself or be a miserable person? I feel like Portugal didn't have what I needed. I loved being there. I love the culture. I love the people. I love the food. You know, there's really good quality lifestyle there, and you don't need to be rich for that. And I had amazing friends, but I felt like I shouldn't be there. So I got a job as a flight attendant in the only airline in the world that takes people at 18 years old. And they based me in Norway.
Oh, wow.
So I was in Norway for 3 years. I came to the realization I was not white, because I thought I was white until I moved to Norway. And they were like, bitch, you're not white.
Yeah, those are like some of the whitest people in the world,
yes.
I think. Over there in like Scandinavia.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, this is great. And then, I had a breakup and my heart was broken. I was like, clearly this guy hit with his head and has mental issues.
Wait, a Norway guy?
No. He was American.
Okay.
So
So
right?
18 to 21 in Norway.
18 to 21 in Norway. Then I got, finally I turned 21, right?
Let's go.
So then I got a job as a flight attendant in Abu Dhabi. So, by the way,
Wow.
while I was in Norway, I discovered stand-up comedy. But I didn't understood what it was.
Okay.
Because we didn't have that in Portugal. So I would just go up there and say funny stories. And 99% of the times I would bomb. And I'll be like, I love it! And then when I become a flight attendant in the Middle East, I start like getting really obsessed with comedy and start like trying to learn about the history of it. And when I start traveling, like imagine I would go to Dallas, I would go to all of the open mics and try to get stage time. Then I would go to LA, I will do the same, right? And then after that, I was extremely jet lagged all the time because I had a lot of flights.
Yeah, and I bet how much time did you spend in each city? Not
much. That was what made me, extremely tired. I was like a freaking zombie.
Yeah.
And it was really affecting my mental health because I realized
Really?
I would forget things all the time. Like, not like, oh, how old are you? And I'm just like 21. No,
but
not like
even
that.
just like where you were at the
Yeah.
particular time.
Yeah,
You'd
even-
wake up and like didn't know where you were.
I didn't know where I was many times. And then I only know certain countries I've been because I have pictures because I don't even remember.
Were you like passionate about traveling? Is that why you wanted to get into the flight business?
I had wanderlust, I was like really excited to travel and eat all these different cultures and try the different gastronomy and all of this stuff. And, I love different languages and I would love like studying that. And that's how I learned English. It was not just from Cartoon Network. It was also from talking to people. But, so I was there for like 3 years and then I'm like, oh, this is really affecting me. And one manager told me once, this airline, like being a flight attendant, it's like fucking a small dick. It's fucking you and you don't even feel it.
Oh, interesting.
So I was like, makes sense. So after that, I went to, where did I go after that?
21, right?
No, I was 25 at this time. So I went to, at 21, I was in Etihad, I was in Abu Dhabi, and then I stayed there until I was 25, and then I moved to Paraguay, and I was there for like 6 months, and then I moved to Kosovo, and I was there for 3 months, and then I moved to Berlin, and I was
Kosovo is like a new country, isn't it?
Yeah.
It used to be Serbia, correct?
I have no idea, but
I
it
think
used to be
so.
on war.
Look it up, Ted Jones. Pop it up right here. We're not going to pop it up right here, but I'm pretty sure it used to be its own country, like Serbia or something like that.
Yep. Anyway, I feel really weird talking about
You're
my life.
worldly, I'd say.
Exactly.
You've been all over the place.
I like these smiley faces. You have a very positive house, I have to say.
Thanks. House/studio here. Yeah, all the good vibes are trying, got ton of stuff over here, positive affirmations to the left.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so all over the place.
Anyway, what do you do for fun here besides comedy?
So, interesting question. Within like the last year or so, I've really like kind of buried myself in comedy, the vlogs, the podcasts, doing the shows, other people's shows, whatever. But I'd say doing for stuff to do for fun. I mean, you probably know the fun stuff to do too. I don't know. I'd say comedy is pretty fun. Like I have a good set of friends that I'll see, probably like 5 to 7 people that I'll see here and there. But for the most part, I don't know. New York is like, it makes you kind of feel like you really have to figure yourself out. Even though there's so much chaos, you kind of really have to figure yourself out as like an individual, whether you're producing a show like you or you're doing things on a nightly basis after work that make you happy, make you have fun. Because like a lot of happy hours for people that work corporate jobs, people love it. People love the socializing, getting to know their coworkers better, and just getting to know people around you better more. So I'd say that's probably what I like to do for fun. Getting to know people more so. That's and just like bouncing around. Whether it's like comedy clubs, bars, some parties, which I haven't really been to as frequently. Yeah. Some clubs and stuff. Have you been like out and about or not really?
No, I never party.
I used to be a club promoter. Like when I was 19 and 20. Why does everyone say that? When I was like 19 and 20. Yeah, I guess as I just freak out on you. Like 19 and 20 years old, I would bring like 10 to 15 of my friends to a club. We get a table. They give everything to us for free. Like 6 nights a week I was doing this because I didn't have a summer job.
Right.
So
did it pay you well?
yeah, they paid me like $20 per like girl that I brought.
Whoa.
So I'd make like hundreds of dollars a night just
That
like drinking
sounds
and
very,
partying.
like, sexually trafficking.
Yeah.
$20 every girl.
Well, I made sure that like
I'll be
everyone
like,
was
bitch,
safe.
You better get it.
I was a
$60 at least if you bring
I was a
me.
respectful promoter. Like if
Yeah.
you were to bring like 10 friends, I'd cut you in on the deal, stuff like that. But I
Right.
just make sure that everyone was having a good time and everyone's safe. Like I'm the least creepy person to be like a promoter
that's
with
what
like
all the
10
creepy
girls.
guys
Yeah, you're
say.
right. That's like what
I'm
a
not
creepy guy would
creepy.
say. No, but I mean like 10 girls around a table, drinking, whatever, making sure just everybody was having fun. That was my job for a while. So
Yeah.
I was a real big club rat, I'd say, for a few years of my life.
Okay.
So I think that portion of my life, for the most part, is done. I'm like,
Okay.
I'm done
don't
drinking
feel the
until
need.
2 a.m. No,
Okay.
not anymore. Especially in New York, when like growing up in New York, even at a young age, we were all going to clubs and bars before we were 21. Because the drinking age in the United States is 21.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 18 in Portugal?
Oh, I was drinking at 13.
Like wine with your
That's
parents
why-
at dinner?
Yeah, and that's why my
Okay.
head is so big and my body's so small because it didn't keep up with it.
But your brain is big. The
Yeah.
wine helped.
That's because I'm really smart.
So, okay, traveling all over the world.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite place so far?
I really like Thailand because the food is delicious and it's very fresh.
And
I
the
think
cost of living there is really cheap, right?
it's really cheap. But you know what? I don't know. I think I'm very nostalgic about Portugal because I haven't been home for like the past 3 years. So every time somebody asks me that, I still think of Portugal, you know? Because the people are really nice there, and they really like every time I brought friends from other countries, my friends always welcome them in and really like support them, like if it's me. And and sometimes I just like watch, and I'm so proud, and I'm like, this is so.
You're like,
they're
look how
such
nice my friends
people.
are being.
Yeah, my friends are the fucking best.
That's great.
And it's not weird. Like here, if I'm not, talking shit, but I am. Here, if I'm like that, people think I'm being flirty. So I have to be a little bit more conscious of.
Not
how I-
as friendly, like outwardly friendly.
Yeah, not as friendly as I would be, because like there it's a normal thing to have male friends. Like if somebody wants to date you or it's something flirty, you can definitely tell. There's no doubt. You know what I mean? But here, I feel like I have to be a little bit more careful because it will be seen like that.
Interesting.
You know
So
what I
how
mean?
did you get to Austin? You moved there after the pandemic?
No, during the pandemic.
During the
Yeah.
pandemic, from Portugal, you moved to
From
Austin.
Germany.
Okay,
Yeah.
from Germany. So what led you to move to Austin?
I got married, right? So I got married, and during the pandemic, and then when your green card is in process, you cannot travel. So I was just stuck there, and then because of the pandemic, things were not moving. So I just had to wait, But now I got my green card. Everything's great. So I'm
So now
excited.
you live in Austin full time, but you're still traveling the globe. No,
So what happens right now is that I spend 15 days of the month in Austin.
15,
Yeah, and 15 days in New York City.
and that's something that you have to do, like for the green card.
No, I already got the green card. So I just do that because of comedy, right? Because I have shows in New York and I have shows in Austin. Next month I'm gonna go to LA. I'm gonna do New York City and LA.
Love it.
Yeah.
And in terms of like starting your show in Austin, how did that begin? Like I know you were doing open mics and you were doing shows
Yeah.
in cities and such, but how did you get your foot into Austin and start your show, The Riff?
So this is interesting that you asked that because when I start watching comedy, like I said, we didn't have comedy in Portugal, so I started watching like Laugh Factory videos and stuff. And
Like on YouTube?
yeah.
Love it.
And then I found, and the people that I watch the most, they all are my friends now, and I have their phone numbers and shit. And it's like, sometimes I forget like how grateful I should be. I'm still grateful, but
How far you've come.
right? It's like, oh, is this really happening? It makes me really happy. Like I would watch Adam Ray all the time. I think he's fucking amazing. And now I open for him when he's in Austin, which is awesome. And I found this video of Comedy Without a Net, right? And I thought, whoa, this is insane. Like people, so do you know Comedy Without a Net?
I think I've heard of it.
So it's like an improv show, but there's a TV screen in the back, and they just put the most random subjects, like non-sexual pullout and shit like that. And then it only moves out, it only moves out once the comedian finishes that joke or sentence or asks like, okay, can you just change it, right? So I found that, and I was like obsessed. I'm like, this is such a good way. Like these people are fucking geniuses. And my favorite of them all was the TJ Miller one. Have you watched it? You have
No.
to watch it. He And I can't believe this motherfucker took half of his brain, not half, like a golf ball size of his brain out. Did you see that?
No.
He was talking about that he had something in his head and he had to get surgery.
Like a tumor?
Yeah. But he's so freaking smart, and he did such an amazing set. And I'm like, whoa, this guy's a genius. And then I was in Austin, and I wanted to get something like that for 3 reasons. I wanted to be a better comedian, and I wanted to improve my English, and I wanted to be able to help other comedians.
Where did that show initially start that you were talking about? In LA, it was the show?
This show that I'm talking, I think it's a European one.
Okay.
That's what I heard. But I never really checked. I don't know if it's a UK or something like that, but I remember that I talked about this because people always ask me, and I tell the truth. I don't give a fuck. It's the truth, you know? So it's not the same show. It's different. There's many improv stand-up shows. So it's not like I'm being a copycat. Yeah. You know, it's an improv. You know, improv doesn't belong to just one person.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so I had that, and I was like, how can I make it different? So my husband was like, why don't you create, like, what if you do it like with a wheel, like a fortune wheel? I'm like, oh my God, that's awesome. So that's how it started, right? And the cool thing is, tonight, I was going to say tomorrow because I forget where I am.
Well, tonight, as you and I are sitting here, we're releasing this on, what's today? It's Monday. So it's Monday as we are releasing this.
That sucks. Well, the funny thing is that I was talking about TJ Miller, and
Yes.
he's doing my improv show
Yes, he's doing it tonight as we
which
are
is
sitting here.
awesome.
Amazing. Yes, I'm sure he
Yeah.
did amazingly. And I'm sure the show tonight went terrifically.
Yeah, we can see the future from
Yes,
now.
absolutely. As you were saying, continue.
I don't know what I was saying anymore.
You were just talking about your improv show and how you started it.
So that's how it started. And then I did the stand, and it just happened.
And have you had the most success in Austin doing it, or have you had more success in New York? How do you feel about it?
I think I had way more success in Austin in the beginning, but now I have so much shit going on. Like, I just filmed a movie, I just shot a movie, I just got booked for another one that's going to be shooting in October, and I'm
Nice.
constantly having auditions. So I'm not the best producer right now, to be honest, but I try my best. I think I neglected a little bit my time in Austin. So I'm more focused in New York City right now, you know?
And you have an apartment in Austin that you're staying at? And then when you come to New York, you're just like in hotels or like
Yeah.
hanging out with friends, whatever
That's why
it
I'm
is.
fucking broke. But I'm looking for a studio right now, so let's see.
In
let's
New
see.
York?
If you guys know something, hit me up.
Hit her up. Nacya,
now-
what is it? Underscore Marreiro.
Yeah.
Oh, I said it Italianly, not Jewishly.
Yeah.
Can you pronounce it one more time again?
Nacya Marreiro.
We'll put it right here.
Yeah.
Right here. Okay, so growing up in Portugal, do you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I have an older brother. Do you have brothers and
What is
sisters?
he doing? I have 2 younger sisters, yes.
Oh my God, I could definitely see that you're like protective older brother.
Yes, sure. See, well, that's what I mean. I'm a good promoter and a good older brother.
Yeah, you sell them for $20. So yeah.
Lease. I
At
lease
least,
them.
yes. That's funny.
Okay, so your brother, what's he doing?
He's
Comedy?
a security guard.
In Portugal?
Yeah.
And you haven't been back to Portugal because of the pandemic, right?
Because of the pandemic, because my green card was in process, and because I'm also broke.
So you were worried that if you were to have gone back to Portugal, your green card application might have been denied or something?
No, it doesn't. So what happens is when you getting everything done, you're not allowed to leave the country because your papers are in process. I don't really understand why. It doesn't make sense to me.
Seems
but
like
that's
it's just
how
a
it
crazy
is.
process.
Yeah.
So are you still not allowed to go back?
Of course I am. Now I am. I already got my green card. So now everything's fixed. Everything's done. So I'm going to go see my family in September.
In September?
Yeah.
You looking forward to that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And how do you stay in contact with your family? Just through like FaceTime?
So my parents are really old and they have a very hard time with technology. So I teach them how to Skype, but like I never see their face.
Oh, they're on audio?
No, they turn on the camera, but they turn the webcam to the ceiling. And
They
like,
put their ear on the microphone?
Yeah. And then you know what they do? Like they talk about me and I'm like, you guys know I can hear you, right?
Oh, that's so
They're like,
funny.
Do her boobs look different? And I'm like, yeah, I can hear you. And she goes, what?
So where do you plan on living then?
I don't know.
Once everything pans out, settles out. Austin, LA, New York, Portugal.
I don't know. Like, no. I definitely don't. I would retire in Portugal, but if I could be in a perfect world and be like, this is what's going to happen, and it does happen, I would have my own sitcom, and I would have, I'm not saying rich, but a comfortable life that I'm not going to be starving and I'm not sleeping on the floor, either in New York City or LA.
Which one do you like better, though?
I really like LA for the ocean and the beach life, but too many needles in the sand. So I really like New York because people are like, let's go, let's work. Come on, there's no time for shit. You know, and I really like the hustle and people are like hardworking. I like that.
In terms of traveling and getting places, New York is just easier. I mean, if you want to go to South America, you want to go to Europe, it's closer, but that's not really a big thing. And LA just,
but you
for
know,
me,
Portugal
seems
is not
slower.
in South America, right?
Portugal is in, I used to have a world map right here. I meant South America in general, but Portugal is in where? It's in South America.
Wow.
What are you talking about? Am I wrong? What is it, in Africa?
You absolutely. You think Portugal is in that? I don't
know.
think we can be friends
in
anymore,
South
Ted.
America? All right, I wish I had a world book. I have my world book over here.
Hold
Portugal. On. I just got dizzy standing up too quick.
Yeah, but that's because you're a vegan.
Portugal. Where is it?
Okay.
Portuguese Republic of.
Ted Jones. Can you also say that
can you also take
Africa.
a picture for the thumbnail so I can make a thumbnail of you with your headphones? Where is Portugal? It's in the Republic Portuguesa. Oh, it's near Spain. So it's in Europe.
It's in Europe, yeah.
It's in Europe. I can't believe I said that. You know what? And I'm giving you guys the raw version. I'm not even cutting that out. Sometimes I don't know where countries are, okay? But most of the time I do. Portugal also would potentially be in South America.
You know, I understand that people would think like that because of Brazil. Brazil is in South America, and they speak Portuguese.
Thank you for saving me there. And Uruguay and Paraguay, now that you're talking about it. Why wouldn't Portugal be right next to it?
Because
I guess it's because it's not. What kind of food are you eating here in New York City? You've asked me about my vegan habits before, which I appreciate.
Of course. What do you eat? Like, tell me, what is like your day? I think I asked you this and you...
It's not that fun.
And you give me a whole diet.
Yeah.
You told me you eat nuggets all the time. I eat vegan nuggets. I'm very healthy.
Chickpeas, beans, vegan nuggets, Beyond Burgers, French fries are my favorite food.
Every time I eat Beyond Burgers, I feel bad.
You feel salty?
I feel really bloated and
people sometimes say that. It's the salt. There is a lot of salt. Impossible Burgers are good too. Basically, Impossible Burgers and vegan burgers are like the two brands for the plant-based meat. But anything that's vegan, I'll eat. I'm very picky unless it's vegan. Okay. And like one of the best things I think about being vegan that has happened over like the past 2.5 years is like when I drink, I don't really drink that much. I drink probably once a month, and like I'm drunk and there's like a big cake in front of me, or there's something that's just completely not vegan. Otherwise I would have eaten like the entire thing. And now being vegan, I'm like, okay, now I have discipline just because it's not vegan. Good. There's eggs in it. Yeah, that's like a great part about it.
So my best friend is vegan and she had like a huge Instagram like for vegan food.
Yes.
And I made her jackfruit
love it.
pulled pork, and she loved it.
That's great. Good for you. You're a cook?
Yep.
What kind of, do you cook Portuguese stuff?
I came to the realization that I'm kind of like being very Americanized, so I really don't.
Well, go
ahead.
Well, being American, what do you mean? Like cheeseburger, like, pulled pork, jackfruit is very American. Vegan.
It is
vegan.
It is. I cook more healthy stuff, but the thing with Portuguese food is everything is from scratch, and there's so much work. You know, like it's like making maybe like Jamaican food. Like you have to marinate everything, and then you have to wait, and it's too much work.
Yeah.
Now I don't have time for that, so I'll just put like I make a salad, I put it all together, I throw some chicken in there, sorry, no offense. And you know, just like it's just like that's what I do, you know.
What's like a Portuguese dish?
Okay. Bacalhau com natas, it would be like Portuguese
in English.
Dish. It's like basically, it sounds disgusting if I explain it, but if you eat it, it's
mayonnaise,
delicious. It's
chips.
like, oh no. It's like codfish. It's like a lasagna, but with codfish, and it's delicious. You just Google it. I swear to God, it's so good. If I close my eyes, I can taste it.
Did you eat fish growing up?
Yeah, we ate a lot of fish because it was so fresh. I live by the beach. I grew up by the beach. So I would go surfing in the morning.
Oh, wow.
I would go surfing at 6 a.m. I would come back to school with my hair wet, thinking I was so fucking
like
cool.
Surfer chick. That's also maybe why you'd like LA more so, living by the beach. Just be careful of the needles.
Yeah, I don't want to step on any needle. Plus sharks too.
What other things do you... Go ahead.
I was just going to tell you, did you hear those news last year when they just, I don't know how you say the word in English, they just dropped a ton of shit, literally human shit in the ocean? Yeah, I was in LA and I was so happy to go to the beach, right? And I'm like, oh my God, I was swimming, I lay down, I was so happy. Never took my eyes out of my bag on the sand, of course. But I went swimming and I was so happy.
Yes.
And then next day they were like, oh, we're just dropping a ton of shit at the beach. Like,
okay, I'm Googling this.
Yes,
so I'm just
Google it.
saying human shit in LA.
Yeah.
Oh my God. LA residents complain about poop in the streets. No, that's different.
No, you have to put it in the ocean.
When did this article come out?
I think it was last year around August. So put like shit on the ocean. Human shit dropped in the ocean by boat.
Human feces, other biohazardous on San Diego sidewalks. I'm seeing a lot of sidewalks. Mexico releases human poop into the ocean. Maybe that was it.
No, it was not Mexico. It was LA. Maybe they were Mexicans. I don't know.
Fecal bacteria in California waterways. I don't know. Well, we could do a better job about our pollution systems and such. And being vegan helps that, Nacya.
It does. And how do the fishes feel? Imagine if I came to your house, dropped a ton of shit, and then left.
Well, we just talked about you eating codfish, so you're not such a saint yourself.
I mean, there's a lot of codfishes out there.
Oh, right. There's overpopulation of codfish.
Yeah.
I've heard that. I used to eat a lot of fish. I used to eat sushi a lot before I was vegan. Now I just...
But it has mercury. It's bad for you.
Yeah, right. I can only now have cucumber rolls, sweet potato rolls, avocado roll, or asparagus roll, just because that's all the vegetables that I can really eat in sushi.
That's why you look so young. You look like you're 15 years old.
Thank you. Well, with the shaving face, I think it does. That's half my age.
That's half your age?
Yeah, I'm 30. I'm 30
You're
now.
30?
Yeah. Why? You thought I was younger?
Yeah, I thought you were like 28.
Oh, that's not that much younger. But like 30 I think that 30 is the new 28 or so for a man, since life expectancy is going up, especially being a vegan.
How old I am, Ted?
27, 28. I think that's exactly
I'm
how old you
29.
are. Oh, you're 29? When did you get so
29.
old? Just kidding. When's your birthday?
June 6th.
June 6th. My dad's birthday is June 3rd. So you're, what's it called? Do you follow those things? You know what I'm talking about? What are you, Gemini?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you?
A Scorpio.
Oh, get the fuck. Okay,
yeah, I don't think we get along well. No, of course we do. You and I do.
I couldn't see you being an aggressive.
Oh, you
guy
couldn't
like that.
see
Do
me?
you fight? Like, do you shout?
No. It was shout, yes.
You
but
shout?
like never physical. Like I can get like serious and
That's
like
exactly what physical people say. I'm never physical. Right?
physical club
I'll
promoters.
just kill her cat.
I'll just freaking
and sell
grab her
a girl
mouth.
for $20.
No, do you have a dog?
Yeah.
How do you discipline your dog? This is a deep question, so be careful with the answer.
So this is what I do. How would his mom dog? Because I'm his mom too,
Yes.
right? How would his mom dog do that to him?
You mean if it was a actual dog, the mother of the dog?
Yes. How?
I think just look at him or
No,
her.
she would like bark or she
Yeah.
would bite him. I cannot bite my dog, right? But
You just go grab the snout.
so if he bites, I do like that, and what happens is he bites his own lip, right? So then he knows that hurts. So he doesn't play like that. Like I train him very well. And if he did something bad, like if I call him and he doesn't come, I will pull like his skin behind his neck, not much to hurt him, but I'll just do like this so my nails don't actually hurt him. And I do that with a sound. I do shh. So if he's doing something, he's like a child. If he's doing something that he knows I don't want him to do, like smelling in the dog's shit for too long, and I go
for too long. You're like, it's a 10-second limit.
You get 2-3 sniffs. Okay, that's it. And then I see him and I go, hey, shh. And he just goes, so he knows. But
Is Cesar Millan Portuguese?
What?
Do you know that guy, Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer? You've never heard of him?
Oh, he's Portuguese?
I'm asking. I
And
don't
I think
know.
he's
'Cause
Mexican.
these are like the same tactics I feel
We
like
do?
he used. I don't know.
But I give a lot of love to my dog. I kiss him. You know what he does? So, you know this space between the dog's eyes? This part here?
Yeah.
I kiss it, and he pushes his head against my lips. He's like,
Oh, that's very
like
cute.
He's the best little dog.
How do you manage having a dog, though, living 15 days in one place and 15 days in another?
So, my husband takes care of him. Yeah.
Nice. And
So, I don't want to bring him here because I feel like it would be too much, but if I move, I'll eventually bring him here. You know? I don't want him to put him in a stressful lifestyle, going back and forth. But he is coming to Portugal with me in September. And he's going to love it.
when did you get your dog?
3 years ago.
It seems like a lot happened for you 3 years ago, correct?
You know, I live a very fast-pacing life.
Right, it sounds like it.
Do you know how I feel in these days with comedy, especially? Maybe it's because I'm a woman.
Let's hear it.
Do you know when you do like you're like on a math test, and there's a tick-tock on the clock, and you know you don't have much time to answer, but you want to do a good job.
Oh my God, you're bringing back terrible memories.
Yes, that's how I feel in my life. I'm like, I don't have time.
That's a good feeling, but
like,
I don't think you should feel like it's TikTok, though. That's
No?
too stressful. It should be one of those digital ones, like my microwave. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be able to tell the TikTok.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just
I was just about to ask something.
Oh shit! I forgot. I forgot. I have a hair appointment at 2, but it's 10 minutes away from here.
What do you need a hair appointment for? You look fine, or you look great. Sorry, that was rude. You look great. Your hair looks great.
I need to have my hair out.
Are you gonna do? You're gonna not do a ponytail tonight? You're letting
Absolutely
it flow.
not. Yeah. Long hair, don't care.
But like, what happens in that? You getting it like blown out or like colored?
No, I'm just gonna
let us know.
I'm just gonna get a blowout, Ted.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So like nice and like luscious. Do you have a guy in the city who does it now?
No.
Like Fabrizio?
I know.
Guys,
I
let her know who to go to.
Please come and do my hair.
You know what? But it's actually come do Nacya's hair. Also, it's probably expensive unless you go to that. What's it called?
Is.
Blow Dry Bar.
Yeah.
Blow. That's insane.
I go. Yeah, that's
You
where
go
I
to Dry Bar? Mm-hmm. A lot of girls go to Dry Bar.
Yeah, because it's
it looks fun.
cheaper, and that's all they do. They blow.
They don't wash or anything?
They do wash your hair. They wash your hair. They give you a nice massage, and then you get your hair blow dried.
And how long is the appointment typically? An hour?
25 minutes. 20 to 35.
So they just like ring you out.
Yeah.
And it's always packed, it looks like.
Yep, it's always super packed.
They have that in Austin also.
They have it everywhere.
Is there anything
Is
there anything specific in Austin that you love doing that should come to New York?
Dude, let me tell you something. I'm a 60-year-old lady stuck
In a 29-year-old's
yes.
body.
I just
That's
wanna
like
be
me.
relaxed.
I'm 15 in a 30-year-old's body.
Yeah, for sure. But that's because of your vegan food. You're very healthy. So, yeah, I see all these rocks surrounding your apartment.
Sure.
It's a rose
Do you
quartz
feel you feel the vibe?
for love.
Yeah, for love.
What are
Is
you
that
trying-
what rose quartz is for?
Yes, they're they to attract love. What's your goal with that?
I think just that. Good vibes, for sure. Maybe not love, but good vibes, I'd say.
Okay.
Nothing so specific.
Okay.
But yeah, good vibes.
That's good. Very nice apartment. You're very lucky to find this place.
Thank you so much.
If you find out
that I get kicked out, you want it?
yeah.
I got you. So
No.
favorite thing in Austin that needs to come to New York, or maybe the other way around.
I don't know how to answer to you that because I always just do comedy and sleep. I don't do anything else, and I audition. I don't go out for fun. I don't go eat out at restaurants.
Your husband doesn't take you out?
No,
occasionally.
I rather stay home and watch Netflix and relax. I don't really like going out.
Do you smoke weed at all?
I eat edible. I do the edibles because they're delicious. There's the watermelon ones. Have you tried these?
Have I tried watermelon ones? I don't know, maybe.
I will bring one for you.
Yeah, please. Well, don't bring it on the plane. You know, you get in trouble for that. Also, have any of your colleagues ever gotten in trouble for like smuggling drugs on planes from country to country? Because I feel like being a flight attendant, it might be easier to do that sort of thing.
I mean, some people, they wouldn't really do that, but I think some people were doing like weird stuff. Like, I feel like some girls had like side jobs. I had a roommate at the point that she was a dominatrix, and I was like, what's a dominatrix? And she says, I beat up men for money. And I say, you mean their
Sounds
dick?
like a good gig.
And they go, no, the rest of their body.
Like just slap them with
their
those whips and stuff and tie them up.
Yes, and their dick
Weird.
just watches. Their dick is like just like that, watching the whole thing, but not getting touched. So I was like, that sounds like I want to beat up some people for money.
I think also the dominatrix
mafia
will
does.
like text the old gentleman or rich gentleman like $7,500. You're disgusting. Have you ever heard of that?
What?
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard
that.
I've heard that that's like a type of dominatrix. So you like have men that are just like pathetic old men, and you just text them, "You're disgusting. Send me $1,000." It's a good gig.
This would be me with my awful English. I would be writing stuff like, "Your mom never loved you. That's why your dick is small." send me $1,000.
Perfect English,
right?
I think you'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
If we have any customers here, I mean, also Dominatrix, OnlyFans is a good job with that.
I wouldn't do that.
Call girl stuff is a good. I'm talking about stuff that's like good because you travel to other countries. I'm not saying you specifically. I'm saying being a flight attendant, being able to be in different cities.
Yeah.
You can go on these gigs and whatever.
Yeah, I think there were some girls that were involved in that because you think you're gonna make great money as a flight attendant, but you don't.
Well, even being a pilot's tough to make a lot of money, right?
Yeah, they make a lot of money.
Really? I've heard that like some corporate airline pilots struggle to make a lot of money. No? Did I hear wrong?
I never heard that.
Well, being a private jet pilot or private jet attendant, do you find that you make more money if you've ever done it?
Yeah. I used to work for a private. I used to work for a person that owned the private airplane.
Oh, okay. And then you just get tipped all the time, I'm sure.
No, I didn't get tipped, but I got good money. I got paid well. So, but it was the same thing. It was catching up to me. I didn't have time for comedy or anything. So that's why I want to take jobs from now on that allow me to keep my creative
energy
side flowing. That's what I meant.
Creative side flowing.
Look, like I was selling to Ted, I had mushrooms yesterday and I didn't know.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's unpack it. You didn't know you were taking mushrooms.
I saw chocolate and I took it. And then
Who could blame you?
And then I had the square in my mouth and they were like, "Oh, just don't eat more than that because there's mushrooms." And as he said that, I swallowed it. And I was like, well...
So you had a nice little time on it or you were freaking out?
I get freaked out a little bit because I get a lot in my head. Because I was not prepared mentally. I thought it was just a chocolate. And I was like, why is there like a slightly sour taste to this chocolate? Maybe it's out of date. But no, it was the mushrooms. That's what it was. So that happened. And yeah.
Have you had these watermelon gummies in New York? The THC gummies, the weed gummies?
No.
Or are you just referring to the watermelon ones that you've tried in
No,
Boston?
I tried in LA. Because there's like shops there and I bought some.
Yeah, right. Those more so are reliable. Like the chocolate mushroom you took in New York, you probably didn't know how much was in it, like how much the dose was.
I have no idea.
And in places like LA or medical places, you know exactly how much you're taking, which is way safer.
Yeah.
You know, like now in New York, since it's become legal in the past like 2 months, or I guess like actually probably 8 months, but now you're seeing shops start to pop up. You really can get in there and like the people, the bud tenders, they call them, like really know a lot about the product that they're selling, which is nice.
The worst thing with, and this is why I don't do drugs, the mushroom was an accident and the weed, I just get really sleepy. And then I think about a lot about my life and then I kind of feel like a little bit depressed.
But that could be good for you though when you're getting tired. And also just repeat to yourself all of the things you've accomplished when you're depressed.
I get sleepy but can't sleep. And that's the worst type of sleepy.
Yeah, you're right.
So
do you wear one of those mask things?
Yes.
I just started. Like
so
when I wake up, like I'll do it in a nap, especially when I have like the sun in my bedroom. So I don't know. I'm napping like 3 or 4 times a week.
Dude, I'm so jealous of you.
Like 20 minutes, boom. And I can usually turn it on late afternoon.
How long do you take falling asleep? And then do you put an alarm on?
It depends on if I have something to do within like the 2 hours, but usually I'll do it for 20 to 40 minutes and I'll have like a 2-hour window. So I don't put an alarm on, which is a beautiful thing.
That's great. Yeah.
I would suggest you trying that. Putting on your things, your eye masks, and then just like kind of meditating. And then as you are meditating, you just fall asleep, wake back up and be like, what planet am I on? That's what happens to me sometimes, like when you were waking up in other cities.
Yeah.
But it's, I think, a more relaxed, refresh version.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I envy you.
Do you have a favorite hotel in New York that you stay at? And if you're staying in one right now and you always stay there, don't say it. Yeah, I was just going to say
that because
you don't want the sponsorship deal to fall through with the other hotels that you have.
And it's not just that.
And you don't want people to follow you.
Yeah,
so
I got some creepy messages. I always thought
really?
I always thought, do you want to read some of my messages?
Yeah, please. Let's do it.
Okay, I always thought, I was like, oh, how do people like follow other people like that? That's crazy.
Well, they could be like, oh, I noticed the sheets on that particular hotel or something. Something weird like that. That could be a way for people to follow you.
No, they'll be saying like, hey, I'm coming to your show tonight and stuff. And
that's nice.
That's nice, but it'll be like, okay, let's read it. I don't even know. Okay, this one's funny, so I'm going to read this one. I would fight 3 mountain lions in a McDonald's handicap bathroom stall with my hands tied behind my back. And my only weapon is a shake weight super glued to my forehead just to get a chance to have a spaghetti dinner date with you over Skype on dial-up connection.
Clever.
Right?
I wonder if he mass texted that, but that's very clever.
Yeah.
Another one.
So I posted like, hey, does anybody know a place where I can write in peace in New York City? And somebody answered, please come to my house. And then I had somebody else. Saying,
nice guy.
how do you call it in English? Down the house.
Basement.
Yeah, I have a basement.
Oh, that's remarkably sketchy.
Yeah, then I had a girl saying, please tell me you like girls. Can I book you for an appearance in my lounge? And then no.
Can I book you for the parents in my
For an appearance.
Oh.
And then I have a guy that sends me movie, like he acts like if he's a critic, and he sends me movie reviews.
On like your...
Yeah, this is what
my God.
Look.
I love how he said not.
No, don't say his name though, but this is what he does.
Live, coming up, mini review, but full spoiler alert. Well, you just talking about... What? Thor?
He's giving me a full review on the Thor
also,
movie.
your Instagram's in Portuguese.
Yeah.
Love it. So is it pretty similar to Spanish or not really?
It's similar, yeah.
Like some words kind of sound the same. Yeah. So how did you get into improv and stand up? I mean, stand up, I know you just like were doing open mics and you loved it, but like, how'd you get into improv?
So I had some classes and I didn't really love it because it was a very sentimental, like I was not raised in a sentimental house.
Okay.
Like I was raised in a place where if you fall on your face, my parents wouldn't be like, oh, are you okay? They'll be like, get your ass up, So if I have like even acting classes or improv classes where people are like, how does that make
breathe,
you feel?
right.
Take a deep breath. Now imagine you're like, I can't do that. And it stresses me the fuck out. So in one class, this was really cool. And I love this teacher so much. So we had to imagine we were in let me see, what time is it? Okay. We had to imagine that we were walking through a portal. And when you walk into this portal, you are not allowed to speak. You just have to look around and imagine where you are. And you act accordingly to it, right? If it's like water, you'll pretend like you're touching water.
That's a good improv exercise.
So it's a thing like that. And I'm watching this, and it's like a dark room, right? And there's like 15 people in the room. And everybody's really, really sentimental about it. And that makes me so uncomfortable, right? I don't like that. I like when if people tell me like, oh, I love you, like, I'm like, oh my God, I love you too. Like, that makes me happy. But when it sings, I don't know what it is. I'm fucked in the head. So what happened was, I felt really uncomfortable. And it was including a guy. He looked like Super Mario. He had a little mustache and overalls. And he's like, so he does the exercise and he's just acting really weird. And I start getting like goosebumps because I feel uncomfortable, And he's like, I'm sorry, this is just really heavy for me. And then my teacher is like, okay, would you like to get to that? And I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? Like, this is too much for me. And then she goes, okay, now so you're next. And I'm like, I can't act like that unless it's like an acting situation. So I go, okay, I'm walking in the portal right now, right? And she goes, yeah, you're not allowed to speak. I said, okay. And I could just go, and I go, okay, can I bring my dog with me? And she goes, yeah. And I'm like, okay. So I put like a foot out, right, in the portal. And then I grab my dog, and I look at him, and I look at the portal, and I look at my dog, and then I look at the portal, and I look at my dog, and I kiss him, and then I throw him out. I throw him in the portal, right? Because I wanted to light up the situation and make it funny. And she's like, whoa, you're not allowed to throw your dog into the portal. And I'm like, why not? I'm allowed to do whatever I want. This is my imagination. And she said, no. No, bring the dog with you. And I'm like, okay. So I like when things are fun and light, but when it involves a lot of feelings and people use their own personal experience to act with improv stuff, I don't like that.
So you like spur of the moment things.
Yeah, I like things that bring good energy up because the world's already such a dark place. This is a difficult business. I want to be happy and excited and feed off that energy and give you mine, right? So I didn't do any more improv classes because I always improvised all my life.
Where did you take that improv class? Was that
in
LA?
In Austin, Texas. Yeah.
Okay.
So I want to have fun and I want to learn to keep the energy up. and be excited.
And that's the perfect version for your show then.
It is. It is.
Nacya, I'll let you get to your hair appointment. Thank you so much for joining us here. Okay, hold your Instagram right here and let us know where we can follow you.
You can follow me. You can follow me on NACYA _ MARREIRO, Nacya Marreiro.
Love it. Nacya, thanks so much. See you next time. Peace. Yeah.